Hello, I'm Ludwig from Phasio, and in this video we're going to talk about price calculation within the Phasio platform and its essentials. We start with the part and we want to know which price to charge for that. On the Phasio platform, we calculate the price per part, also referred to as the unit price. And there are two most important blocks on this. The first one would be the process. And in Phasio, we refer to all information that is around the part, so its volume, its area, surface area, XYZ, convex hull volume, and so on and so forth, as part of the specification. And the specification doesn't only hold part information, it also holds specialized information. For example, for a CNC process, a certain precision, or for an FDM process, a certain infill or layer height. So all of that kind of information lives under the specification of the part. So what did the customer basically choose? So that would be something like volume, area, X, Y, Z, and so on and so forth. That would be also something like infill or something like precision. But another really important one is information about the material. So under the specification lives also the material information, which is the material schema. So the interesting thing about that is that all of your materials that you define in a given process, they have a different, for example, density or price per gram, and hence in your equation you need to actually define your price based on material information, and that would be found, let's write it out, in the schema. So next to specifications, we actually also have something that we call the requisition. And within the requisition, you find information like, for example, the quantity and also the lead time. And you see already where this is going. And you see that in the specification, it's about how should the part be made, and the requisition from request is about how many times do we want to make this. And then in the lead time, it's also when do we want to make this. So based on all of this information, you can build the most important thing, and that is an equation. Equations on the Phasio platform are built using TypeScript, and that's a very powerful scripting language about which we will have a bunch more videos in this playlist, and you will learn how to write these equations based on the information provided to you for that specific request from a customer. But the process is not everything. To this, we're also sometimes adding post-processes. And the post-process equation, honestly, is very similar to the process equation, only that has a bit more information. You also get the specification. So you get firstly all this information. You get the specification, you get the requisition with its quantity and lead time, but also in here you get the process price. So the process price is important for things where you want to do like a percentage price, right? Like for example, in MJF black dyeing should be 10% of the part price, right? And that is here the process price, which you have access to. And now interesting also is that you have access to the process and the material. And having access to that allows you to write one equation for like a multitude of different material, for a multitude of different technologies. So if some of your technologies, some of your processes share the same post-processing, you can build that all in one equation, and then together, the process and the post-process, they result in a price per part. So let's just say this is 267 euros, just out of interest, right? On the Phasio platform, the cool thing is that you have a little calculator button symbol on the right, and you can just, when you build quotes, click on that. And what you'll find is that you will see information about all these different like parts of the equation when you click on here. And of course, you have to define certain variables in the process and the post-process that show up then here in this calculation tool. And if you want to see what that calculation tool actually does and how to make use of it, how to update the unit price of the post process or maybe the estimated support of your process, then just go ahead and watch the next few videos and then hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.